A very good evening to all of you friends. So friends, how are you? I believe that you guys are all doing well. How is your preparation for CLAT going on? I hope and I trust that that's also going great. So friends, as we begin with part 3 of offenses against women and child, those of you who have not seen part 1 and part 2, requesting them to definitely go through part 1 and part 2 because that will help you in your understanding of this new offenses against women and children as provided under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Now before I begin, let me just give you an introduction. The Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and 2 other criminal laws were brought very recently by the Indian Parliament. Both the houses, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, did pass this particular bill. Then it finally got the assent of the Honorable the President of India, and it has been brought into force. Now, one very important thing that this law, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, aims to replace the Indian Penal Code. That's very, very important. Now, Indian Penal Code was made during the British Raj. There was a lot of people who said that these laws were made by the Britishers just to oppress the Indians. So this new law has been brought into effect by the Parliament, and in this particular new revamp of the Indian Penal Code, that is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, there is some very important aspect that we have to understand. The first being the fact that there are certain offenses against women and children. Now, this is one part of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita which has to be carefully looked at, because a number of new offenses, now there were a number of offenses, okay, that were not there under the Indian Penal Code, but today those activities have been made offenses under the new law. Today we look at some of those important provisions of the laws relating to offenses against women and children. Okay, so guys, a very good evening to all of you. Let's begin. But before I begin, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you ACE CLAT with BYJU'S Exam Prep. Unlock your 3-day free trial access to all our courses. The link is given in the description box below, requesting you to go to the link and just click and get the free 3-day free trial access to all our courses. Those of you who are preparing for other law entrance examination like Maharashtra CET, Jamia, and other host of examination like SLAT, Symbiosis Law Admission Test, and if you have any query, any questions, you can definitely you want to start your preparation and you have any queries, you wish to talk to us, please go to the link given in the description box below, fill the form, and we will talk to you and understand your difficulty and find a solution to it. So the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita provides much higher punishment in cases of offenses against women and children. I have already discussed this in the previous 2 parts. I'm not going to repeat. So, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the revamp of the older Indian Penal Code, provides higher penalty. If you see the punishment, especially in terms of imprisonment, so you will find that under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, offenses that are against women and children, their punishment has been increased by leaps and folds. Now, in the first part and the second part, I have discussed with you offenses against women. In this part, I am going to discuss with you offenses against children. In the previous session, I did discuss with you sexual offenses against women, like rape, sexual intercourse by husband upon the wife during separation, sexual intercourse by a person in authority, sexual intercourse by employing deceitful means, gang rape, disclosure of identity of victim of certain offenses, printing and publication of any matter relating to the court proceeding without permission. So these things have already been discussed in part 1. Then in part 2, we did discuss assault and use of criminal force against women with the intent to outrage her modesty, sexual harassment, assault or use of criminal force to women with the intent to disrobe, stalking, word or gesture or act intended to assault, to insult modesty of a woman. So these have all been taught to you in the first 2 parts. Again, in the second part, we also did understand the concept of dowry death, the punishment of cohabitation caused by a man deceitfully inducing belief of a lawful marriage. I have already explained to you by citing you examples about all these important offenses like marrying again during the lifetime of husband or wife, enticing or taking away or detaining with criminal intent a married woman, husband or relative of husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty, kidnapping, abducting, or inducing women to compel her marriage. So these things have already been discussed in the first 2 parts. What I am going to discuss today is offenses against child. Now, offenses against women, I understand, has already been discussed and you have an understanding. But there are certain offenses against child. Like it's an offense by parents to abandon a child under 12 years. A father or a mother of a child cannot abandon the child who is below 12 years. It's a criminal offense. So it is the duty of every parent to take care of the child below 12 years. Now, what is the punishment? I'll come to it. Concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. Now, if you are concealing the birth of a child by killing or disposing a dead body, that's also an offense. Now you have, female foeticides in India. So if you are concealing the birth of a child and secretly disposing a dead body of a child, that's also an offense. Hiring or employing a child to commit an offense. If you are teaching a child to commit an offense, because under the law, under the prevailing law, a child below the age of 7 cannot be punished for any crime. Now, suppose a person is employing or teaching a child who is around 7 years to commit an offense like theft, like murder. A child of the age of 5 commits murder because he or she is taught by someone else. That itself is an offense. If you are teaching, you are employing, you are engaging a child to commit any kind of an offense. Then procuring a child. For example, you are buying a child. That itself is an offense. Now, you cannot transact with human body. Transaction on human body is an offense under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Kidnapping or abducting child under 10 years of age with the intent to steal it from its person. If you are abducting or kidnapping a child below 10 years with the intention to steal it from its person, to steal that child, that is itself an offense. Selling child for the purpose of prostitution or buying a child for the purpose of prostitution. So if you see, now these were some of these offenses were not present there under the Indian Penal Code. Now why? Why were these kind of offenses not there under the Indian Penal Code? The first question is, if you see, when was the Indian Penal Code made? The Indian Penal Code was made at a time when these offenses were not there. These offenses were not there. So please try to understand this aspect, that when the Indian Penal Code came into being, we never had any idea that, people would buy or sell a child for the purpose of prostitution. When people, where a parent would abandon their child below 12 years, or procuring a child, or employing or hiring a child for the purpose of committing an offense. These kind of offenses only came into limelight because of certain incidents that happened in the last 30-40 years. Now, most of these offenses were not there around 100 years back. So, the criminal law had to change according to the changing need of the society. These laws had to be revamped owing to the fact that the society has undergone such a change. People are committing offenses like buying a child, selling a child for the purpose of prostitution. These things were not there 150 years back. Now we are today talking about a law which is close to 200 years old. 200 साल पहले ऐसे offenses नहीं हुआ करता था सोसाइटी में, बट आज ये सब offenses होता रहता है. आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ेंगे, if you just go through the newspaper, you will find these kind of offenses taking place, these kind of incidents taking place. Now, how do we handle these things? And this is for this purpose that the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita introduced such important laws to punish people who are committing offenses against a child. Now let's see the first offense. Exposure of a child under 12 years of age by parent or person having care of it with intention of wholly abandoning it. So if a parent, if a father or a mother is abandoning his or her child below 12 years of age, that itself is an offense. That is itself an offense under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. So please try to understand this. This is very, very important. Exposure of a child under 12 years. And the parent, so the parent is duty bound to take care of the child who is below 12 years. If the parent is not taking care of the child who is below 12 years, it is a criminal offense. आजकल ये सब हर इंसिडेंट आप देख पा रहे हो न्यूज़पेपर्स में, टीवी चैनल्स में, कि 7 साल का बच्चे को अकेला घूम रहा है रास्ते में, रेलवे स्टेशन में. So please try to understand this, that this is itself an offense. Now these kind of offenses never existed 200 years back. Then you have concealment of birth by secret disposal of dead body. कोई बच्चा पैदा होता है, उसको कंसील किया जाता है. Now if a person is born in a hospital, then the doctors are there, there is a date of birth, the birth certificate, and everything is issued. But if a child is born within the four walls of a house, and the parents do not wish to have that child, and they secretly dispose of the dead body, then imprisonment for 2 years. That is how serious that offense is. Now, these were not offenses, these were not something that used to happen 100 years, 200 years back. But today, the mentality of people, the mentality of the society is such that these kind of incidents are happening in our society. So we have to take care of these kind of mentality. They do not hiring, employing, or engaging a child to commit an offense. Now, please try to understand. A child below the age of 7 years, because he or she does not have mens rea, the mental element, the intention, he or she is not liable to commit an offense. Now, if people are planning to kill someone or to commit an offense and they want to escape, so what is the new thing? People have chalked it out because they know the law. Everyone knows the law these days. So, an escape route of committing an offense and shielding yourself from punishment is hiring or employing a child to commit an offense. A child will not be punished under the law. So, these days, we have seen incidents taking place where a child below the age of 7 is taught to do an act. The child just does it as a game, as a play. He has no understanding what he is doing is an offense or not. But those people who are teaching these children to commit offense with the intention to evade the law, the purpose is very simple. Of those who are hiring children to commit an offense, to evade the law. So to stop such things from happening, to stop such incidents from happening, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita makes it an offense. Imprisonment not less than 3 years, minimum 3 years, and it can be extended up to 10 years. So minimum 3 years. कोई अगर कोई बच्चे को हायर करता है and engage a child to commit an offense, minimum 3 साल, maximum 10 साल. Procuring a child. If you are getting a child illegally, it's not your child. Imprisonment 10 years. So any act of procuration of a child will entail a punishment of imprisonment of 10 years. So do keep this in your mind. ये जो नया जो कानून अभी लाया गया है, ये जो नया कानून लाया गया है, ये सब कानून इस चीज पे बेस्ड है कि नया नया तरीके का क्राइम आजकल हो रहा है. नया नया क्राइम. ओके, नेक्स्ट, kidnapping or abducting a child under 10 years with the intent to steal from its person. देखिए, एक बच्चे कोई मॉल में घूम रहा है, कोई 10 साल के नीचे बच्चे घूम रहा है, पापा मम्मी के साथ आया है मॉल में संडे स्पेंड करने के लिए. कोई इंसान उसको अगर किडनैप करता है या अबडक्ट करता है, किडनैप करता है या अबडक्ट करता है, बोथ, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस, किसी भी प्रकार से किडनैप या अबडक्ट करता है who is below 10 years with the intent to steal from that child. बच्चे को चोरी करना है या बच्चे के शरीर पे जो चीज है उसको चोरी करना है। कोई बच्चे के गले में सोने का हार हो सकता है, या हाथ में सोने का एक चूड़ी हो सकता है, कुछ भी बोलते हैं। So if the child is wearing some amount of gold or silver or some precious stones, and somebody is trying to kidnap or has abducted the child who is under 10 years of age with the intention to steal from its person, that is a crime, and the punishment given under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is imprisonment for 7 years. Imprisonment for 7 years. Is that clear? So there is an imprisonment for 7 years insofar as kidnapping or abducting a child under 10 years is concerned. Selling child for the purpose of prostitution. Now, a lot of people will be shocked to know all these things. But these are the hard realities of today's society. Hard realities of today's society. आजकल बच्चे लोगों को भी ये प्रोस्टिट्यूशन में डाला जा रहा है। क्योंकि भारतीय न्याय संहिता makes it absolutely clear, whoever is trying to buy a child or sell a child for the purpose of prostitution. Now, you are forcing someone to hire or buy or sell her body parts. Now, here is such things that are happening in today's society that the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita had to also take care about these important facts. Now, a lot of people might say, sir, ये तो बहुत रेयरली होता है, बट होता है ना। जब होता है तब इसको दुरुस्त करना ही पड़ेगा। कैसे करेंगे? बाय स्ट्रिक्ट पनिशमेंट। Imprisonment for 10 years, 10 साल का imprisonment. Anybody who is trying to sell a child for the purpose of prostitution. Buying a child for the purpose of prostitution. If you are buying a child for the purpose of prostitution, imprisonment not less than 7 years, minimum 7 years, maximum 14 years. So you see today that the offenses against a child, the punishment has been increased, and new types of offenses have been incorporated by virtue of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Of course, these laws are laws. People have to abide by it, and those who don't, they will face prosecution in the criminal justice system. Now, why do we need to know about all these things from the point of view of CLAT? Now, the kind of questions that are asked in CLAT, these are all passage-based questions, and make sure and be prepared that insofar as CLAT 2025 is concerned, which will be conducted in December 2024, this year end, you might get certain passages, at least one passage, that is what we think you will get from these new laws, the 3 new laws, which revamps the IPC, the CRPC, and the Indian Evidence Act. तो आप लोगों को थोड़ा बहुत फेमिलियर हो जाना पड़ेगा ये नया कानून से. आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड लॉ पीपल माइट से सर किताब तो नहीं आया है. हाँ, अभी दिसंबर में एक कानून आया है, अभी हम लोग जनवरी में है, 1 महीने के अंदर तो कोई किताब तो नहीं आएगा ना, टाइम लगेगा किताब लाने में. बट इसका मतलब क्या यही है कि हम लोग कुछ ना samjhe, kuch na pade. No, we have to understand these things. And henceforth, in these sessions, we are discussing all these things with you. So those of you who are preparing for CLAT 2025, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you CLAT 2025 comprehensive course. Start your preparation for CLAT 2025 now. In this comprehensive course, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you 380 plus hours of live classes, 300 plus recorded videos, 55 mock tests covering CLAT and other law entrance examination, along with video solutions. So the mock tests, all the mock tests will have video solutions. They will be provided with more around 10,000 practice questions, 10,000 practice tests, study material, doubt resolution, and the CLAT Ignite magazine. So those of you who are seriously interested for CLAT 2025, this is the course that you should join. Those of you who are preparing for other law entrance examination like Jamia Millia, like Maharashtra CET, and Symbiosis Law Admission Test, we bring to you this very important online classroom program. Kickstart your OLED preparation and talk to our counselors today itself. Link is given in the description box below. BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you Legal and GK Booster Series every Sunday, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So every Sunday at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. we bring to you this very, very amazing series called Legal and GK Booster Series on our app. So first and foremost, if you haven't downloaded our app, get it downloaded today itself, because these sessions at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. every Sunday that is being conducted for Legal and GK Booster Series, which is termed as Legal and GK Booster Series, it's only available in our app. So very, very important thing, it has already started in our app. So download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app today if you haven't. Those of you who are preparing for law entrance examination and just want mock test, BYJU'S Exam Prep brings to you a test series at the most affordable price. 25 CLAT mock, 15 ALET mock, and 15 other law entrance exam mock, along with video solutions. So we bring to you this amazing test series, wherein those of you who are just wanting to sit for the mock. So guys, do you like this session? I hope that you have understood this very important session, wherein I have discussed with you the importance of offenses against child under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. What are they? Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on our Instagram, like our Facebook page, join our Telegram channel, and do not forget to download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app today. So guys, with this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye. Take care. See you. All the best.